Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the Cultural Trust podcast. I'm James Allen, joined as always by Fionn Bateza, and today we are joined by content creator, Sheffield Wednesday superfan, groundhopper, and superstar DJ Bethany Clements. How are you, Bethany? Okay?
I'm really good. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us.
You just said superstar DJ like that. Is it? I don't want to embarrass myself in knowledge of like dance music. Put that one that says superstar DJs. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano's track.
Yeah, bit Chemical Brothers to kick things off.
So. There you go. Didn't want to say it in case I was wrong.
Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, again, like every club, when their guest comes on, where do we begin? I mean, I'd say a massive club. I think wrongly placed as well. I think you should.
Sheffield.
Yeah, I think you should move the team. No,
Wickham Wednesday.
I think definitely Premier League level. What was I know very turbulent past 12 months. What's the current vibe at Sheffield Wednesday like at the minute?
The vibes have continued to be turbulent. We're maybe a little bit more stable under Danny Rule, but the mood seems to change after every game. So we won on Monday, so at the moment we're staying up. But if we lose on Saturday, we're going down. Yes, no calm waters yet.
That's Championship football, and it's the worst because it's like you just like when we were 2 or 3 weeks ago, I thought we've got no chance of playoffs. And I looked at the table and hold on, we're actually we're 4 points off, even though we just lost 7,000 games in a row. Mental.
I saw as well. Well, it's been quite quiet recently, but didn't your owner as well say that the fans needed to raise money in order to basically get you out the shit?
Yeah, I think that was November. We didn't pay our tax bill, and apparently some little Wednesday adjacent protest groups have been saying that he's not the owner, he's the custodian, and the fans are the owner. So the chairman hit back with, if I'm the custodian and you're the owner, you should pay the bills. But within a week, the tax bill was paid, and since then, he's been quite quiet. We got a nice Happy Christmas message from him, which is
big dead
worrying. Yet to see if we've got any spending money for January. That's a whole other kettle of fish, but we'll see.
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, so close last season. Were you at the playoff game last season at Wembley?
I was at Wembley, and I was at the second leg at Hillsborough when
wow.
We did the big comeback. Was there quite reluctantly. I'd already bought my ticket, my trains, but kind of talked myself into it the week before, just because we'd had such a great season. I was really kind of attached to Darren Moore and that set of players. In my head, it was our little day out with my friends to say bye to them, and it ended up being the best night of my life.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
it was a comeback against Peterborough, wasn't it, as well?
That's it, yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. 5-4. Was it 5-4? Or was it
5-4 eventually. Yeah, it was 4-0 on aggregate. We got it to 4-4, conceded again in extra time. And then,
we've hit though on that. We've hit the first of Wednesday culture heroes. Callum Patterson, who's like a right back but plays up front, looks like he should be like, I don't know, being a plumber in Arbroath. Right.
He's played every position from us apart from goalkeeper.
Wow. So that's a proper player, that is.
He's fantastic. Yeah, he got out the fifth. He's a bit turbulent, and not everyone loves him, but I'm Team Pato. Yeah, I adore him.
What see, that's that annoys me as well. There's always I don't know, the element of fans that don't appreciate. You truly don't appreciate a cult hero till they're gone. Anyway,
absolutely.
You look. To have Fabio Rockham back. You couldn't do anything other than score from 40 odd yards every now and again. Loved a Palmer. But it was massively overweight. But speaking of overweight and cloggers, there's also the famous that with the Kosovan cart horse, James. I'm going to let you do the pronunciation that you've practiced.
So
I'll be the judge.
we're launching a new feature called Cult Hero of the Week, and we put this out to. We got an abundance of Sheffield Wednesday fans, not only like following us, but tweeting this man's praise, along with some incredible goals. I'm gonna butcher it, and I do apologise. Drum roll, Kosovo's own, Atdhe Nuhiu.
Atdhe Nuhiu, yeah, perfect.
There we go. There we go.
Is it totally changed the pronunciation? Yeah, that was perfect. That was a
No, I
nice
thought that
line.
was really good. He was the original Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Because we invented Big Dave. Until he said,
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say until he told us he didn't like it, and then we stopped.
Oh, that's a shame. It's like the Chelsea fans obviously don't get much praise on here, rightfully so. But they called Aspilicueta Dave because they couldn't say Cesar.
Exactly. Yeah, we couldn't say Atdhe Nuhiu at first, but we got there.
So why him? Why he seems to be the one that most people have responded with?
He ticks all my boxes personally. I think he's like the patron saint of big man up top. He has this knack for just like popping up in the dire moments. I've just got this like mad mental image of him of when he was playing, of just being slightly hunched over, and I don't think he was like truly ambipedal. I don't think he was like truly two-footed, but he could score with both feet. And I've just got this kind of mental image of him in the box, of him just kind of hunched over with his leg at a right angle on either side, just ready to kind of push it in. It's just like burnt in my brain.
I'm gonna go very because every time I've been to Hillsborough has ended in victory for Middlesbrough. But one of them, the best away ever, which I shall get to. But twice Ryan Shotton scored, not once, twice. On two separate occasions, Ryan Shotton scored a goal. One of the worst footballers I have ever seen. But he was a bit like that. He was properly shit, and then he came a bit all right. But he could he could fucking do a long throw. Yeah, but the best away ever was Gary Monk, which will segue back to Wednesday. No, it doesn't make sense. Never mind. Anyway, because we were waiting, the tram that takes you to Hillsborough from Sheffield.
Very well, yeah.
With we were like we'd won. I think we won 2-1, and we were waiting that long for it that by the time before the tram arrived, Gary Monk had been sacked. Which was sensational because I hated him, and that was possibly the best away day ever. Because I hated him. We won. He got sacked, and it's like, what more can you ask for of a day? And then because it was just before Christmas, and then into January, he tweeted, "Oh, it's a great feeling to be back on the slopes" on Twitter. So I called him a skiing nonce, and he blocked me. And that's it. That's me, Gary. But Wednesday suffered upon Gary Monk's transfer treachery, didn't they? So.
Very much so.
I don't know a lot about Gary Monk, other than he looks kind of like a sort of assistant, like sort of teacher who's lost control of the classroom within the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, halfway there. Yeah. I want to say a little player I want to talk about for my biggest flop. I think I'm 90% sure he was a Gary Monk investment. But I feel very affectionately towards him. Not Monk, the player. So I've got to give him some dues just for that.
Oh, who was the player?
Fisayo Delibashiru.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah, is he still playing for Wednesday?
We sent him to Turkey.
Oh, no. I
think he sent himself. His agent sent him to Turkey. That was the gossip.
All right. Not
and you can send me to Turkey on cultural patron.
Yeah. I'd love that. We send him to Turkey. What for? Just get his teeth done. He'll be back in Jan.
He got a clearance in the face. Send him.
A player I've got written here, Barry Bannan. Is he immortal?
I hope so. Yeah, I deeply hope Barry Bannan's immortal, because I don't know what we'd do without him at this point.
He's like a graduate of the James Milner University of Endurance, where it just feels like he keeps going.
And he doesn't get much worse. He's not dropped off yet.
No, he's great.
I think he is cause of a bit of frustration at Hillsborough because I think he sees things that other people don't. And he'll try a slightly more ambitious pass or that kind of thing, and it can cause a few groans. But I think it's just because he's so much better than literally everyone else who plays for us.
Oh yeah, I watched him against Hull on the other day. He was amazing.
Yeah, he's sensational.
That's a Jake Humphrey investment, by the way. The James Milner University of Endurance.
Good name for a band. Talked about cult heroes. Are there any sort of you said off pod sort of like 2015 onwards? Would you say is when you were like started Sheffield? You started supporting Sheffield Wednesday. Are there any players that like are your favourite that really stand out to you?
Yeah, well, I kind of got into football and then moved to Manchester, so
Right.
I've got my little bit of distance from Wednesday for that period. At the same time, we also just went through this almost phase of, are we going to make it to the Prem? We had like a couple of playoff campaigns that ended in misery. But favourite players, I think Atdhe, obviously, especially Atdhe Nuhiu 2017 to 18. Just that Atdhe Nuhiu specifically, when we had no other forwards and through necessity, he just formed this beautiful relationship with Lucas Jow. And it was in that season he did the hat trick, the crazy corner. So Atdhe Nuhiu definitely. Probably more recently, also maybe been a bit naff this season, but George Byers specifically between August 22 and January 23. That little period, he was just on fire.
It does strike me as I don't know about you as well, Fionn, but it is obviously, given the history of the club past like 30 years, it is a club that I just, even though growing up they haven't been in the Premier League, they just should be there. It just makes sense.
Because the two best like away atmospheres I've been to, of home grounds I've been to that I remember, like most of times I've been more than once, is Wednesday, and we'll give them a bit of credit. There'll be none of them watching, and people may turn off at me saying this, but Sheffield United as well. So there's the two best atmospheres. Although I did see at Sheffield United, so I'll always prefer Wednesday because we've always won when I've gone to Hillsborough. So, but I did. I was trying to get friend of the show Jamie Hutchinson a happy birthday gift by getting Michael Carrick to say happy birthday to him when our team bus arrived. Dale Fry gave me a nod, but Michael Carrick didn't. And I saw Mark Labette off the Chase going into Sheffield United. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm more of a Dark Destroyer man myself.
Well, I was going to come on to that. Mark Labette is a pretty not the shape. So I was going to just divert the podcast and say, do you want to play a quick game of the Chase while we're here? No, Mark Labette. You raised Mark Labette as a Sheffield United fan. I've got written down here Jarvis Cocker, John McClure from Reverend and the Makers, and I don't know how many, but some of the Arctic Monkeys.
One of them's definitely a dingle.
Right.
I think Alex Turner's a Wednesday fan, and it's one of the others. I think it's a 50-50.
Right, okay.
But I won't swear to that.
That is pretty, like, in terms of fandom, celebrity fandom, that is, and we're not talking like, when, I'm a Liverpool fan, and, Dr. Dre just posed with a Liverpool shirt one time. This is like proper born and raised. I'd say for me, that's probably the best celebrity fan base, I think.
I think we're quite thin on the ground.
Sorry, go on, Beth.
I think Wednesday fans are quite famous. Wednesday fans are maybe a little bit thin on the ground. Martin Ware, Human League.
I was going to say there's a picture somewhere of Snoop Dogg in a Berry shirt because he did a.
There's a picture of there's a picture of Rivers Cuomo somewhere in a Sheffield Wednesday shirt.
No way.
But I think a lot of celebrities just like our name.
Yeah, some usually.
And you just like the owl, like the name, not.
I mean, it's the best badge ever. I think
it used to be.
It's the best badge of all time.
The old owl is not the new owl.
The proper old style owl. The best sponsors in the world. You've been sponsored by Chupa Chups.
Yeah, I think sponsors again. They're always embroiled in some kind of controversy, or they're completely iconic. we've had Chupa Chups in Sanderson, which are like really, really iconic. We've also had Elevate, which is our owner's fake energy drink brand. We've had just the owner's surname.
What does he do? What does he actually do?
Who knows?
He's
Everything.
he's written it on the stadium as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's all over the stadium. A up at the moment, our little clip art flat cap. There's something tapped about that though. There's something dirty money vibes there.
Right.
Goes a little bit above my head.
Yeah, holding company that's turned over £32 last year, and it's like Newcastle's, isn't it? That's just a fake sponsor.
Pretty
Bollocks.
much.
But without the beheading. I've also I meant to mention this when I mentioned Nuhiu, right? The coincidence of fate. Talking of big men up top, my primer, big man up top, Georgie Villataya. 303 Premier League goals on Football Manager for me. Yeah. So he replaced Nuhiu at Apoel. I did one season at Apoel and got turfed out. So there you go. Yeah. So they went for a slightly less big but more athletic man up top.
You don't get much bigger than 6'8". I think you've got to kind of admit that's your ceiling, isn't it?
Zigic and Nuhiu, despite the obvious Kosovo-Serbia dispute that would inevitably occur, should they be up front together? But that'd be a partnership I'd like to see.
Yeah, me too.
PlusNet as well. They've been sponsored by PlusNet.
Napoleon's Casino.
Yes, I saw that the other day. Yeah, Napoleon's Casino.
What he should have had, what Arctic Monkey should have done, is Tranquility Hotel Base and Casino. The only thing that on there you go, absolute shit album, but there, bang.
Yeah, well, the John McClure of the makers, he's very vocal about Wednesday. I've seen him at
He's the women's supporters group, one of our ambassadors.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think he was our first ambassador, but everything was so stressful when we first set up. He may have been the second.
But, fantastic! Yeah. How did that come about, the women's group?
Through suffering mainly. We all went to Bolton at home, which was the last season, which was the designated kind of her game 2 International Women's Day fixture, and without getting too dark, we all had a bit of a nasty time. So kind of decided that it would be nice to create a forum for female Wednesday fans to be friends together, and it's been fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! That's amazing. Especially people like John as an ambassador. When did you set it up?
It was shortly after, so kind of that was March. Kind of launched in April because we were also really shit around then, so we were like, let's wait till the fixtures get better. And then just kind of kicked on since then. I kind of joined in an official capacity as like an admin, secretary, runner type girl in just after Wembley. It's been fab. Yeah, we've got John McClure on board as well, Katie Livingston, who's a Olympian, and top Barclays man David Stockdale as ambassador as well. So going really well.
Oh, fantastic! That's brilliant. I think it's something that I've seen definitely a lot more of in the past sort of 5 years, and I assume it's continuing to grow.
Yeah, so the group at the moment, we've got about 300 members, which is
that's good.
Amazing. And just it's slow, but it is kind of growing nationwide. Like, we had a lot of help from Fulham Lilies when we first set up. I know Watford have a women's supporters group. They are quite rare. It's much more common to have a supporters group of the women's team, whereas we kind of fill the space for women who are fans of the men's game. So I think there's a nuance that's missed there sometimes, but slowly growing, yeah.
Awesome, fantastic.
And also to lower the tone, as I always do, that sounds like I'm about to say something horrific. I'm not. The McClure and Stockdale proximity there reminded me that's give me a flashback of kitchens I've been in at 4 a.m. when Reverend and the Makers have been on in the background and somebody has said David Stockdale. There you go. And you know,
That's
just
happened
random
plenty.
name. Yeah. Random. Oh, do you remember him? Yeah. So that was that.
They're one of the best bands of all time. I've seen them with my mum.
Oh, I
Genuinely,
love that.
Clipping that
me and my
out.
mum.
Clipping.
Me and my mum love Reverend and the Makers.
Oh,
Honestly,
I love that. So cute.
let's see. We're both heavyweight champions of the world.
You and your ma. Oh.
Yeah.
Left that open.
Have you? We mentioned it before. Have you ever been to the Steel City Derby?
I've not. No.
Right.
I have very vivid memories of it happening on my birthday as a kid, and having to try and get through Hillsborough to my birthday party while all the United fans were getting kettled.
Yeah.
Trying
But
to get to
no,
Chiquitos through
it's
Green
not
Street.
happened. It's not happened for 5 years. I've been in Manchester for 7. They're hard to get tickets for. They never come around. And to be honest, the last couple of times they've happened, I think the last 3 have been 0-0.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
I could be wrong. The last one was definitely 0-0, and I think there's just been so many of those. But hopefully, if we can stay up, and they definitely come down.
Well, they're definitely coming down. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah, I've got a bet on for them to get the lowest points tally in Premier League history. So they're only allowed to get 1 more point this season.
So yeah, but I've got a recycled tweet that I did when they last went down and were nearly under 11 points. So I need them to get at least 12. For a
I
tweet.
need them to get no more than 10.
It always seems to me like a bit of a I don't know, like a kind of dormant. Like I imagine it was kind of massive years and years ago, but obviously due to the sort of sporadicness which the two of you played, like a lot of people regard, I don't know, Birmingham Villa and Tyne Weir and stuff, but it's not really a derby that, certainly from like my perspective, isn't kind of covered that much. Is it very intense? Is it or is it more of a Liverpool Everton vibe?
No, they're definitely our biggest rivals. I mean, we've kind of made do with Barnsley, Leeds, that kind of thing in the interim. But they're still absolutely our biggest rivals, and there's still kind of healthy competition within the city, even though we're not playing them. If they win and if we win and they lose, it's a Sheffield double. We've smashed it. We've always got an eye on each other. There's still kind of that. They're in the back of your head, definitely. I think when we do eventually play each other again, it'll be huge. But maybe I can see it because I'm in it. I can see that not kind of transpiring well to people who follow other teams. But I'd say it's healthily still dicking away in Sheffield.
I do like that when you said like derbies about like you're saying you can't see it when you're in it. It's like I love it when like when there's nothing else on a weekend and Sky Sports are going, it's colossal, it's the Cotswolds Derby, it's Forest Green versus
Yeah, Oxford Swindon.
Yeah.
Bring
You
it
can
on.
see the car park from the ground. Oxford United, still the worst ground in the country.
That's exactly how I feel about Barnsley, Rotherham, Hull, all these kind of peripheral Yorkshire teams that are with their big day out, if you
Hull
will.
is awful. Hull is all
I'm just so annoyed that they think we're a derby.
But it's also the fact to go and watch the game, you've got to go to Hull, which is the worst part of it.
Yeah. They're not Barclays Hull. I know they were in the Premier League for Hull aren't Barclays, in my opinion.
They got a Barclays. They got to get an iconic Barclays moment, however, though. Phil Brown on the pitch, of course, you know.
Oh
yeah. But other than that, they're not having it. They're not having Barclays.
Yeah.
No way. You can have TSB, and you'll fucking like it.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Don't say something, James. Don't let that linger. Come on.
Sorry. You're also doing a 10-tier challenge. Is this where you're trying to watch a game from each level of the pyramid of the English football system?
I am. So I'm going all the way from. I'll get it right. I'm going obviously from the Premier League down to the Northwest Counties.
Oh.
Not Premier Division, the one below it. I think it's Northwest Counties, North and South again. So it's getting pretty amateur. It's not amateur. It's getting pretty gritty towards the bottom though. I've just today been told I can walk again after having a broken leg. So it's taken a bit of a pause. I've managed post 2. So we've been publicly. I've been to West Didsbury and Chorlton and to Salford. They were very kind of contrasting days out. But obviously, broken leg has limited me, as has the weather, because everything just keeps getting rained off. And I've got about 3 tickets to matches that just haven't happened yet.
I went to uni in Salford, and they always tried to like palm off tickets, and I never went, and I'm really glad I never went. What was it like?
It was horrible. I hated it. It was like, have you ever been to a box park? Have you ever been to like Croydon Box Park or to like Shoreditch Box Park? Or
No.
do you know the concept of a box park? Like the
not round these ways. This is London. This is London talk to
yeah,
me.
but like a container park. Those shipping containers, they hollow them out. They sell beers for £10 in them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all we do gear rush £14. Fuck off.
Absolutely. It's like that, but a football stadium. So like it's like, I don't think it was, but it felt like shipping containers that had been cut in half, facing a football pitch. It was so cold. It was chucking it down. Was hardly any shelter. The pies were atrocious. The football wasn't much better. And I did all this knowing full well that for League 2, I could have just gone to Stockport and had a nice day out.
Stockport's good as well.
Yeah, the free Saturdays don't come along very often, and it seemed to be every free Saturday that came along they chose to play away. So
bastards.
Salford it was.
Yeah, I've been to the peninsula or whatever they call it.
I hate it. I'm never going back. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, we went to see Salford.
It's in the weird bit of Prestwich.
Yeah, it was foul, and like we went to Salford City v Newport. My boyfriend's from Cambran, like just by Newport. So we were like, we'll sit in the away end. We'll go and like a little day out for him as well. Like, we'll go and find what the away pub is, this kind of thing. And it was miles away. I mean, the pub was the highlight of the day out. I thoroughly recommend the Red Star in Broughton. But, just so much walking around. Like you'd literally like put it in your phone map to be like, right, cool, we've had our pint, let's go to the stadium, and then it's a half-hour walk through like a golf course.
Yeah,
I'm really glad that you've exposed them here, Bethany, because I watched every series of that class of '92 or whatever it was, where they try and we come for a lot of I didn't like it, and then it was like, we're going to re-sign Darren Gibson again, and he's going to get us promoted, and all this thing about we have great rapport with. I'm glad it's shit. I'm glad.
Not to grass Darren Gibson up, but I saw him sniffing beak in a toilet in Alty once.
I was going to say, I think Manchester's just doing too much for people who don't like the Glazers. Between FC United of Manchester and Salford City, just wait. Everyone else has got to wait.
Yeah, but it's the annoying thing. It's the vanity project with. It's like because his mum like chained herself to the fucking irradiator or something at Bury, didn't she? Going down, and then like, he goes, I'll just put my money in this. I was going to do a Gary Neville impression, and I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, it's vanity, innit? And I hope they go down. It'd be fucking hilarious if they go down.
They're not far off, are they? It's definitely on the cards. Forest Green and Salford City back to back.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah. Have that in your vegan enchilada. Fucking down.
That'd be good. That next year you'd have like Oldham, Rochdale, and it's such a good catchment area, like Lancashire in the northwest. Like
I've been really spoilt for kind of days out around here, and like I've kind of got a notebook page of all the tiers and all the places I could go and see, and like the National League, I've got Alty, Rochdale. The guy I sit next to at work in the office is a huge Oldham fan. I just want to go to all of them sometimes, and then.
What tier are Sheffield FC in, the oldest club in Wales football?
They are in the 8th tier.
They are. They have to be number 8, surely.
Yes, I would like to. Definitely, I would say I maybe prefer Hallam if we're going on. If we're going to talk about the Wolves derby. No, Hallam FC are great, but I would like to see Sheffield as well. Hallam also play at the oldest ground in the world, which is pretty crazy. Got the Guinness plaque as you walk in.
Oh,
Guinness World Record, yeah.
At the Parthenon, Hallam away.
It's a cracking ground. It's actually on like a really steep slope, so like you're kicking uphill and downhill for a half.
Yeah.
We should do that, Theon.
5-0 down, lads. We've got downhill next half. Come on.
The clubhouse is lovely, pretty padded out. Yeah, thoroughly recommend Hallam for a day out. You can also see Sheffield Wednesday legend Daniel Padil still plays left back for Hallam FC.
Wow.
And Miguel Llera is the assistant gaffer. So good Wednesday connection at Hallam as well.
How many tiers have we done now, Beth, of the away, and what tier? Because we've done Championship. Technically, does it have to be in the same season? I'm guessing, obviously, that's not much of a challenge.
So I'm going to try and do it all this season, and I'm also not counting cup games. I have to see. I could go to a tier whatever ground for an FA Cup game, but that's not the point.
Yeah. So how many tiers have we done? We've done obviously Championship.
I've done the Championship. I've done the Premier League. I've done 2 days out for the Premier League to get a real lay of the land.
Luton and United. So.
Burnley and Man City.
No.
I'm pending Altrincham v Dorking.
Oh yeah. I might see it. Altrincham v Dorking. I'll go there again.
It's got to stop raining first. They've got to stop raining it off. And then there's just a couple that I've obviously done: Salford, West Didsbury, and Chorlton. And then everywhere else needs to stop raining, and my leg needed to get better.
And of course, the hospitality workers who staff the team at the 10th have all been quite busy. So
absolutely.
I went to I don't know, a couple of days before Christmas. I don't know what division Prescott Cables are in.
That's the same. Is that the same as West? Is that North West County's Premier Division?
Yeah, it might be 6th, 7th.
The fixtures aren't on SofaScore, so you know the shit.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll say £11 entry.
Oh, really?
£11 entry. Yeah.
There seems to be a weird thing about the prices, and like obviously Wednesday is extortionate for the Championship, and then there's this period of the table where it's very cheap, 8, 9, 10, but then like the National League and League 2 and League 1 are really expensive.
Yeah, Alti's 19 quid, I think.
I think I paid 22.
I always say I've been going to Alti for years with my dad, and I've been saying I'm a student for I'm 26, nearly 27, and I've been saying I'm a student for about 10 years, and it's the same woman every week, and I just like she asked me once about 3 years ago, "Oh, come here, you said you've been at university a long time." Like, yeah, doing medicine. Yeah.
PhD.
Doctor, thank you.
You mentioned your boyfriend's from Cumbraen. Have you ever been to Rodney Parade?
I haven't. He's been plenty. He's actually a Liverpool fan.
Yes.
So not Newport through and through. But I felt quite a bit of an affinity to Newport County when we saw them. I mean, going to these games.
I got a jacket off Classic Football Shirts for £10. So for this podcast, so I thought, I can't wear it out anywhere. I almost wore it to a Borough game, and then I thought, well, this just looked weird. So yeah, no affiliation to Newport, but it was a £10, and it's a nice jacket.
Yeah,
so.
I kind of feel that it's. I mean, I like just going to the football. Obviously, doing this challenge, I like going to see just a game of football, and I want to say I like going when I'm not invested, but you always end up kind of rooting for someone. Like, obviously, really wanted Newport to do well because my fella, and then I went like with my friend, my housemate's a Burnley season ticket holder, so we went together to Burnley. Like, I want to go for a low stakes day out and just maybe see something daft happen, but then you always end up you got your eye on someone. You want something to happen. It's usually the underdog.
I would have put 20 quid on Prescott Cables had I gone with you, James. So.
They won 5-3, 3 goals in 10 minutes. I'm so glad you said that. I think we need to normalise people just enjoying football. I understand tribalism. I understand you have a team, etc. But if you just want to go, I live not. This isn't a brag, but my partner's lifelong. She's a lifelong Wrexham fan. Lives 10 minutes.
This is
if we can go, then it's great. It's
exactly. It's low stakes. Like, if I go and see Wednesday, I'm either crying, furious, having the day of my life. I can't deal with that some days. Some days I just want like a level.
Some days you want to go and watch Leamington Spa. That's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up one Saturday and go, today I'm going to go and see Abbey Hay or Main Road.
Yeah.
And
I want to see a player get subbed on who hasn't got a number on the back because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And he's clearly hanging out his arse the night before.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to see some horrible tackles. I want to see some really scrappy goals, and I want it to not be my team.
We'll circle back to Owls. No.
As Chris Packham once said.
That's Bill Oddie's remit. You're a DJ as well.
Yes.
If I want to ask you this, if you were to curate, you see this a lot with players where they're asked to sort of like make a playlist before the game and stuff. If you were to create
David Guetta.
if you were to curate a playlist for Wednesday pre-match, maybe also what the players will come out to, what would you put on there, do you think?
Ooh, see, I really like our walkout tune. We come out to Waterfront, Simple Minds.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's quite powerful, the beginning of that, with everything going on. I think I'd like to get a kind of Bundesliga style goal tune.
Oh yeah.
Right.
When slam it in the back of the net, and then you want a big euphoric banger. I don't quite know what it is.
I've had a theory with watching the darts that like you should scrap the walkouts as they are and do it like the darts. Like just walk down from the stands to some absolute shit fucking kids tune. Fucking Agadoo at Millwall away. Right.
That'd be good. Like a kind of Darude Sandstorm. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, we've recently changed up the full-time tune, which I thought was quite drastic. Used to just have a nice little Terry Curran singing the blues, and we've changed to Daddy Cool, Boney M for Danny Rule.
Boney M divides.
Yeah, no, I'm into it because maybe it's nice to change it. I'm a big fan of singing the blues, especially when you've won. But yeah, it's a nice touch.
With the what was what I was going to say then? I forgot. Never mind. That's good podcasting. Carry on. As you were.
I'm still trying to think of it. What our goal tune should be.
There's a lot of I'm just going to stop saying the because I keep saying the and my point's not coming. I thought I had it. I don't have it. But yeah, there's a lot of the goal tunes that you like. The worst pre-match thing. So you know, and this isn't just to pander to Wednesday fans. The fucking greasy chip butty shite.
Oh, it's vile.
Oh,
stupid.
Terrible. Awful. You deserve to get relegated. And not just from the Premier League for that. But the fans are fancy right. But no Sheffield. Why am I bothering? There's no Sheffield United fans watching it. The 38 minutes in. Sadomasochist fucking Sheffield United.
Sheffield United.
But yeah, that's
United,
the worst.
You are not a Barclays team, okay? I feel like Nick, there's a guy on Instagram called Nick Muller who he's an Ipswich fan.
Oh, there's not James, not a guy.
Hero they didn't have Kevin Pressman, they didn't have Carlton Palmer, they didn't have Benito Carboni, they didn't have Di Canio, Waddle, you know. Think about it. You got Sean Bean.
Yeah.
I needed when Saturday Comes or whatever, that awful film. Sorry.
Oh yes.
Sean Bean is a blade.
Sean Bean's entire
it's the only film he's in where he doesn't die.
Sorry, Beth, go on.
Sorry. Jimmy, you've got a trial at United or whatever. Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Oh yeah. That one in prison is terrible as well. They go, oh, it's proper fucking stereotypical. Oh, it's my first day in prison.
The one on BBC that time.
It's quite good. It's quite good, but terrible at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he gets like, oh no, he's bullying me. That's not a good Sean Bean voice, but you get the idea. Oh,
He is a bit pathetic in it.
He doesn't try like.
Yeah, where's your fucking
He said
SIM card
he
now,
tries
dickhead?
to I saw something where he's like he tries to sneak in Sheffield United things in his films, but I can't see any. But like I've noticed that in like I was watching The Boys on Amazon, and one of the characters is from London, and I think they just the production team got any sort of football flag ever made, because there was like a West Ham flag on his wall next to a Charlton Athletic poster next to like, but it was just all shades of wrong. Could you imagine that? Like, you know, there be it Sean Bean's in a scene where there's a Sheffield Wednesday poster behind him. But
The scenes.
Oh, do you know the just quick before we move on from Sean Bean, quite a thing I saw years ago. The reason why Sean Bean dies in everything he's in is because his name looks like it should rhyme but doesn't. There you go.
Like karma.
Yeah, seen Bean.
We're trying to put on. Sorry, this is a massive segue. We're trying to put on a kind of like FIFA club night.
Okay.
It does sound good. We're actually trying to put on a FIFA club night. Yeah, just playing rammers and all those floor fillers. No, we got for our when we get like a Patreon off.
Can I have your glow stick?
We're going to try and organise like a FIFA disco, basically all the songs that feel like FIFA. Have you got any advice in your sort of years of DJing?
Pretend that you've always known what you were doing, even if you don't look like you were doing. You know what you're doing. Just do it. That's how I started. I just pretended that I'd always done it, and people started booking me. So that's my that's my favourite one. Just slam it. Don't care about what time of night it is. Don't care about pacing. Don't care about peaks and troughs. If it feels right, it feels right. Just go and do it.
Like the Lemmy advice. Just fucking keep the build up going and go.
Yeah, well, that gets boring because you know where it's going. So take them on a journey, I say.
Put a bit of Bosnian jazz in there, you know.
Absolutely.
Awesome podcast. I don't know. Maybe not. It's best to put Louis Theroux interviews on during everything. Do you have like a specific genre you go for, Bethany, or is it just whatever?
It's a lot of whatever. There's a really nice interview with Jane Fitz that I saw quite early on when I was DJing. It was saying, don't care about genres. The thread that makes all the music that you play fit together is that you're playing it. Like you don't have to think that this has to sound like this has to sound like this. I'd probably say I mainly play kind of UK bass adjacent stuff, kind of like old school dubstep and grime and bits of kind of jungle and dub, but if I like it, it gets played. It doesn't have to be a genre.
In the pre-show playlist I made for our band's gig, Vulture Authority. There you go. I went overboard because I ended up being 5.5 hours long. But I put like some due to the genius of Mr. Simon Wozniak coming on to One Day More off Les Mis. I put Javert Suicide in there, and it was very funny to have a segue from The Clash to Words on shit, which was really funny.
No, I love that.
It made me laugh.
Sounds great.
You should. If you could imagine if you Sheffield Wednesday end of season awards, you're on the decks. Barry Bannan wins an award. What seems fitting? Bananarama. There you go.
I like it. I always said when we got promoted last season, I really wanted to DJ the Open Top Bus tour because Calvin Harris got to do it for Liverpool, didn't he? I wanted to do it down Hillsborough High Street at the back of the bus.
That'd be so cool.
Never even got asked.
I
so
can't
I don't know what that's all about.
Calvin Harris.
God. Dave on Chancery again.
They've never even asked me to do the crappy new fan zone we've got. So
put a word in.
It's probably Chancery's nephew.
I can't believe Calvin Harris did that. Craig Charles is miles better. I love him. But this has been amazing, honestly. But
Craig Charles is punk and goal night. There you go.
This has been fantastic, Beth. Obviously, really enjoyed this. What an insight to a club that I've always kind of don't know what I don't want to sound like belittling when people go, "Oh, I've always kept an eye on that team," but like I kind of always have. Like I said, great badge, great sponsors. That's my level. That's my sort of tick list. Yeah, exactly.
Broadband
Yeah.
lollipops.
When
What
Fulham
do
was
you want?
sponsored by Pizza Hut, I went mental. This has been amazing. Where can people find you, Bethany, on socials?
So Bethany Clements on Twitter, and Bethany Loves Ball on TikTok, where shortly we'll be resuming the 10-tier challenge. If you want to catch up on that,
Brilliant.
there's also the Salford and West Didsbury and Chorlton episodes. I've also got some other silly things going on. I'm running my own one woman football book club on there,
Awesome.
keeping track of my reading list about football, which is fun. Yeah, just little days out, and low effort daft videos. Yeah,
Has to be low effort.
absolutely. The one with the least effort's got the most views.
Exactly. There's no point, yeah.
Yeah, it takes me 2 hours to make a 10-tier challenge, and he was that flipping Burnley keeper who wore tracky bottoms. That took me 5 seconds, and he's got thousands.
We'll definitely go and check Bethany out, because that sounds fantastic. And thank you so much for coming on. You can follow
Beth,
us at Cultures Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And YouTube, everything. Tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell everyone. And we'll be back next week with another episode. So until then, thank you very much, Bethany, and we'll see you later.